Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Wrestler Review chat episode, Patreon exclusive.
Chat number 3.
Dings, and that's Dylan Gott. Dylan Gott, by the way, is the person who made you guys all read the name Kenny Omega, which, if the comments are anything to go by, AEW is in real trouble if they're going to keep pushing this man. I have never seen wrestling fans just hard pass. No. Please talk about someone else. I hate him. He makes me have thoughts I'm not ready to talk about. I was at a conversion camp, and Kenny Omega's undoing my programming.
Yeah, I assume everyone's angry about the Ibushi angle.
I assume everyone. I don't even know what that is. I assume everyone's just angry that they're like, why did that cowboy ruin our good time with our anime robot Harley Race?
Of course, he's talking about Kenny Omega. I just want to say that because it did start recording at 0 when you were halfway through the Kenward Omega discuss. But anyway, no, it's deadlocked, man. I don't know. Pick one. Who do you want, Kenny Omega or John Morrison? Who do you want to review?
I want to review. I don't care.
You don't care?
Well, I don't care. I don't care about either of those.
They're supposed to care for us, but they're deadlocked. So now you got to pick, big head.
What is this, fucking Florida in 2000? I got to pick between a boring guy and a fucking idiot?
Which one's which?
Okay, between Kenny Omega's the boring guy. Kenny Omega's definitely Al Gore, because they're both like, you know what? On paper, I agree a lot with this person, but I bet you his wife doesn't like cool music. And also,
Kenny Omega's more talking about like what makes someone like Kenny Omega's more talking about when something becomes recognized as the best, everyone fucking hates it.
I love it. That's what I like. Why I like wrestling is sometimes it's so pure, and it's just like, why do you hate that guy? And it's like, he thinks he's better than me just because he's really good at the thing I like, and I am not able to do that. And you know what that is? It's fucking rude, Kenny. Kenny! Fuck you! And also, Kenny Omega also has a problem of, as an internet wrestling fan, our God King, Jim Cornette, is also like...
Our God King?
Yeah, he's our God King.
I think that might be just you.
All head to the hot tub and
well,
worship.
I mean, this leads us into our first and best topic, which is Gunter Stark.
Slap your wife's bottom as long as that's not your wife, that's someone else's wife. Oh, Jim Cornette is our God King. I am gonna eat a tennis racket. I think that the only way to move forward in wrestling is to be extremely left-wing in the most right-wing way. Oh, Jim Cornette, I want to fuck your dog. Go ahead, Dylan.
Gunter Scott, does that mean anything to you, John?
I believe that would be the new name of Walter.
Oh, sorry, Gunter Stark, yes.
And as I am to understand it,
he's a Nazi.
Name of a Nazi. Yeah, good.
Which is funny because they fully trademarked a name before Googling it. Oh, and then also someone posted that Adolf Ziggler was also a Nazi. Dolph Ziggler. Let's go.
Oh no!
Let's go.
I'm here to kill the Jews. I'm here to kill the Jews. Nobody kills the Jews like I do.
I mean, it's good stuff. Hey, you can't be a male cheerleader. That's embarrassing. Let's find a Nazi scientist to name him after, and then he'll be rude.
I got to tell you, I will never forget explaining to Dylan or to Brendan Burns, when you figured out that Dolph Ziggler's theme song lines up completely with "I'm here to fuck your dad, I'm here to fuck your dad."
Once again, that was Alex Wood. Alex Wood,
like I do. Oh well, I heard it from you, and I thought it was fucking 100%.
Well, because it was like it was in the ether, buddy. It was a great time to be alive.
And then I explained that to him, and then at the same time, he's like, fuck, Dylan's funny. I'm like, you want to know what else is really funny? Dylan has posted a bunch of his stand-up on Pornhub as fat nerd sucks own dick at stand-up comedy. And watching that guy be like, wait. And then he kept trying to be like, all right, when I post all my stand-up on Pornhub, and I was like, you're not allowed to do that. That was Dylan's joke. You can't steal Dylan's joke. And he's like,
got taken down.
I just want, and then he finally just went, I know, and then he just tweeted out your link, and it was just like, I was like, oh man, it was so funny because it was like, he was so impressed with how funny that joke was. He's like, I just want to be a part of that joke. I want to be a part of the joke, and it was just like, It was the only time Twitter helped. It was the only time Twitter has helped a situation. It was like, Brendan just tweeted out, and he was so happy. Oh my god, it was so funny.
If you want to know a lot about NFTs, go to Brendan Burns' Twitter.
Oh yeah, if you want to learn a lot about crypto. Hey, have you ever wondered what Dogecoin is? Yeah, well, don't go to Brendan's Twitter to find out.
You know what the confusing thing is about crypto? It's actually worse for the environment than regular money.
I know. What I like about human beings is when we try and fix one problem, we make 8 other really stupid problems.
Like what? I don't understand where it's like, because apparently coming up with a thing of crypto costs the electricity of like an entire city or something. Like to make one Bitcoin, it's like, do they have this giant gas-powered crypto machine that they have to like crank start or something?
I stopped giving a shit about crypto, which is in the pandemic. I was like, where did this come from? And as soon as I read the sentence posted on a message board, I went, nope, not real, fake. By the way, but anyone who buys crypto, it's not a different form of currency. You're literally just buying a stock that has been rebranded. Do you know what I'm saying? You're essentially you're still buying the McRib, but you've just fallen for the marketing of like, it's no longer the McRib. It's now the face fucker rocket Elon Musk shit my ass.
Anything that Elon Musk could be like, hey, this is pretty fucking good, and then it goes through the roof is not like it's terrifying for people who invest in it, and it's terrifying for the future of money.
It's legally regulated pump and dump schemes right now, and it's a thing that happens because America is too capitalist. And basically, this is what happens with anything new to do with the economy. Is America's like, this is the future, everyone buy it, and it's like it's completely unregulated. Do not buy that. Do not put all your money in. And there's like, what did you say? Put all my money in it? Because I just did, bitch.
Well, and China went all in on it too, or something. I'm basing this off of 3 podcasts.
Oh, listen, I had to learn a lot about the anti-vax movement and a lot about crypto because a bunch of my old friends went one way or the other.
How old?
And we're talking 4 years old.
4-year-old friends? You're friends with a bunch of 4-year-olds and they got into crypto?
That's right.
That's
They're
cute.
so cute and they have a perspective of hope.
I want crypto.
Could I have your juice box? Caleb, could I have your juice box? But all my friends that I met when I was 4, Dylan, 10 years ago. That's right, I'm 14.
14.
I'm so shy and cute. My lips are wet with confusion.
I'm balding at 14. Someone give me money.
I'm 14. This is what happens when you take too much testosterone at 14.
Yeah, sick things. Anyway, continue. So your friends from your hometown all went into crypto or whatever. I'm impressed that you keep up with them. I gave up Facebook and thus have no idea what any of those people are up to. The only thing I know that are up to is
WhatsApp groups?
Female comedians that also have OnlyFans because they show up in my feed constantly. Or it's like, hey, I'd really like to know what my friends are up to. Twitter? No, we don't have anything for you. But 3 of your friends have liked this post from a person who's just like sassy with an OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Twitter
social
works
media is so curated because as soon as they invented muting, I have been muting people. And it is like my Facebook feed is literally 4 comedians, including Dylan Gott and this podcast. Like it is my Facebook and Twitter. January 6th never happened, baby. It is a lot of information about wrestling and weird news that I like. Would you like to know what happened this day in British soul history? Yes, I would.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Social media is whatever. I mean, my favorite moment in social media is when I got rejected for representation and I had a big freak out in the middle of the Outback and just unfollowed everyone on social media.
Which must have taken quite some time.
We were on an hour-long drive and I did it in an hour. Unfollowed everybody.
Christ, that's terrifying.
Just unfollowed everybody. Felt fucking clean and amazing and so good. And my favorite part about it is a mutual friend of ours got so angry at me. Oh, I realize what the problem is here is you just want to be free of social media. And I'll never forget. You'll never see one of my tweets again is one of the things that was said to me. And I was just like, you're out of your mind. You're out of your fucking mind, big boy.
Well, yeah. Well, if someone does that, takes an hour to unfollow everybody, maybe they're not in the best mental space and you shouldn't be like, hey, now you won't see my tweets. It's clearly like, okay, it was unfollow everybody or make a gun out of stuff in the woods and go into town. And let everyone know what's going on. You know what I mean?
That's right. Oh, by the way, I've just put my hat backwards.
A real Gunter Stark.
I wanted to feel like it was either go Gunter Stark or go Dolph Ziggler now. Where is Dolph Ziggler now, by the way? I assume
he's still in the. I think he's in a tag team with Bobby Roode. Another tag team where if they just went to AEW, it would be like, oh, these guys are amazing, but instead it's like they just lose a lot. I mean,
no
nothing.
one talks about how fun it must be to be a WWE wrestler right now if you don't care. You're like, wait a minute.
If you don't like wrestling, it must be like who would be Honky Tonk Man would be an amazing 2021 WWE wrestler. Oh no, wait, because he actually wanted the Intercontinental title. Who's a guy who just showed up and was like
Dolph Ziggler? I think Dolph Ziggler is a perfect. He's like, I used to care, but they destroyed me. So now,
no, because remember Dolph Ziggler started doing stand up for a while because he was like, I need something, like I need to take power back, and then he stopped even that because I guarantee Vince McMahon was like, do you want this $1 million or do you want to be have self-expression and pride? And he was like, $1 million, and they're like, that's right.
Yeah. I want so much to know what's actually happening in the W. Every day I look at the news and I'm like, someone bugged their office. Like it's just like it's.
Have you watched any Vince McMahon segments? I've only listened to recaps about it, but if you watch Vince McMahon segments, like I know everyone jokes about it, but like the dude's not well. Like he can't understand what he's saying anymore. And it's just like Austin. There's this thing with Austin Theory where he's supposed to be like Austin Theory's mentor. And Austin Theory will win a match, and he'll be like, I'm going to barbecue your skull and fuck it. But everyone else on the channel, everyone else on the TV show, like, can't say but. They have to say but make it clear it's like but, and I mean as in the word and, not like posterior, which I'd be say if I was referring to that. And Vince McMahon's like, I'm going to dig out your eyes, come in there, and then it's going to be like fucking nut soup.
It's
but that's
basically,
fine.
As I understand it, because I haven't been able to I haven't watched it either because I just.
Who would watch that?
I don't want to watch it.
You know what things that are worth watching that are 3 hours long?
Every rest. By the way, because
there's like 4 movies that are okay because they're 3 hours long, and every single week they're like, you know what else is 3 hours long? You want to see Dewdrop? Try and figure out how the difference between a Pepsi and a Coke live on TV because we don't have any ideas for the character. We just need time.
Do you remember Velveteen Dream? He no longer works for this company, but we're trying to give that gimmick to someone else probably. I don't know. Anyway, we make Godfather 2 every week, and we are not prepared. Like
also, I watched NXT 2.0 because the Walter Roderick Strong match was on, and they did a thing for the tag tournament. I haven't paid attention to it at all, and it was like there was no ethnicity crossover. Every single tag team was like, it's the white guys, the Spanish guys, the black guys, and then the Japanese team.
Oh no! I wish they would do a modern Japanese team, just 2 guys in sunglasses smoking, talking about the economy.
Oh my god! Because I want to see NXT 2.0 Japanese tag team because I don't want to get this wrong, but I think their whole gimmicks is that they like the jackets. They like their jackets.
Oh no! What do you mean?
They just have jackets and they're nice jackets.
So they're my grandma. So the tag team champions of NXT are my grandma. Do you see this?
It's like
John?
They okay, announces teams for Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament, but it's like Kushida is one of them, who I understand is like a really well-regarded Japanese wrestler. Jacket Time is what they're called.
No, they're not. They're not actually. They're not called Jacket Time. That's not real. If it's real,
I'm sorry. MSK appears to be a white man and a black man. So that is, but every other team is literally like, it's the black guys and the Spanish guys versus the Asian guys. It's like that tag team cup we talked about in WCW, but they didn't.
This is a fucking prank. What the fuck is this? Jacket Time? Fuck you, WWE. Shut the fuck up.
It's one of he has a specific idea. It's so weird that it's like, as soon as this company went public, I guess everyone's like, I guess if you're a business person, you think, oh, what's worked for a million years? But like you don't think about, I don't understand how, if you know business, you know that like, okay, this guy has like, there's a certain amount of time in creative pursuits that you're very, very good, and then it falls off. And that goes into sports, that goes into anything, right? You just fall off, you burn out. And Vince McMahon's been burnt out for 20 whole years.
Yeah, I'd say it's 30. I think he burned out WrestleMania 3 and has just been going forward ever since.
I mean, the Vince McMahon character, on screen, he was dope, but like that was a new thing. And all these old ideas from childhood watching wrestling, he could just dump on, like, oh, here's what a heel should have always been. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's fucking nuts, and like, I guess he's the final editor, and you just have to write for this crazy man.
But it's basically it would be like it's like if someone misheard that thing of like if 1,000 monkeys were given 1,000 typewriters and an ability to type forever, they'd eventually write Hamlet. It's like Vince McMahon is like, I know how to cut costs. Give me a bunch of monkeys, and they were like, what? And he's like, you'll see. And he's giving a bunch of monkeys iPads, and they're like, well, he just shit on the monkey. And Vince McMahon's like, I get that. Change Walther to a Nazi, and they're like, what? And he's like, yeah.
Well, that's exactly what we talked about. There's 6 countries in wrestling. He's like, Austria, no one knows what that is. I'm pretty sure you could just have an Austrian guy. I mean, maybe it's something different. No, he's German, and he's a fucking Nazi. Fuck you.
I want to clarify. Alberta is in Texas. For those of you, or Canada is in Texas in the 6 countries. Because I was like, I saw that.
No, but Canadians don't really have a character.
But that's the thing. What it is it's the Hart family. The Hart family.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like the other Funks. Basically, wrestling is like the Funk family should be very sad and depressing, but they're not. We better invent the Harts so there's a balance. Like the Funk family should be literally like, because if you think about it, it's like, well, there was Dory Sr. and he made 2 sons. He made 2 employees, which from his dick, he made 2 dick employees named Terry and Dory Jr. And they are fundamentally insane people who just want to fight you, and I guarantee they've real mellowed. But yeah, it's insane.
Well, it's also the difference between like the Funks are like, I if you told me that the Funk family invented work-life balance, I would believe it. Or it's like they like Terry just quitting WWF all of a sudden, like the thing we're talking about with Dolph Ziggler
all the time. Hang on. Yep. To be clear, all the time. That's not one time. Here's how Terry Funk quits the WWE every time. He's gone. Weird excuse offered. For example, when he left after WrestleMania 2, I don't want to be here anymore. Tell him. What? Bye.
Yeah. Because he's rich. He doesn't have to do the things Dolph Ziggler has to do.
This is the thing with Terry Funk that no one talks about. Is Terry Funk is the greatest you'd never suspect who is from a crazy amount of privilege. You see that old man fighting 8 guys, and for some reason he's covered in salmonella and keeps cutting himself so the salmonella goes into his blood, and he's explaining to everyone that's what he's doing because eventually he's going to kill Raven by making Raven drink his own salmonella blood. And you're like, yeah, he's like, that guy never needed to work a day in his life. And you're like, what? And he's like, yeah, this is his yacht. Terry Funk's yacht was ECW. Do you understand that? Everyone else retired to Florida. Terry Funk was like, I'll retire to Philadelphia and get hepatitis.
Yeah, well, like, I wonder what the Funk family farm is like. Was it just like was it essentially like they just hired people and he was like, well, it's running okay. I think I'm going to go get stabbed by Sabu.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's a lot of wrestlers that also have ranches, and they always are like, and then they worked on the ranch. And I was like, I don't think the Von Erichs were working on a ranch unless that ranch grew cocaine. Like, if there'd be like, yeah.
Well, Fritz is also rich, but he was rich from real estate, but also like weirdly wanted to be recognized for that, whereas the Funks were recognized well enough for their tastes in wrestling. Maybe it's all winning that like both Funk brothers won the NWA title in the 70s. Maybe that was it. We're like, oh, we got recognition. We can like do whatever the fuck we want now.
And their dad was basically the god of his town. Like, what no one talks about is the only reason I know so much about American geography is because of my wrestling love. But do you understand? I landed in Atlanta, and like someone was like, "Oh, that's the Cobb County state line." And in my head, I was like, "You don't need to tell me about Cobb County. I know that's where you go to serve hard times, sir. Mm-hmm. That's where you serve hard time. Don't you fucking talk to me about Cobb County." Yeah,
Dory Funk. Dory Funk, by the way, if you look up Dory Funk Sr., it looks exactly like Terry Funk, which is hilarious.
Yeah, well, he looks like Terry Funk if Terry Funk was stung by a million bees, and also for some reason just refused to grow facial hair because that Funk face is pretty fucking looks like a droopy dog. It could really benefit from some fleshal hair, but instead of having fleshal hair, that's how you say facial, by the way. The Dory Funk's just like, instead I'm going to go bald and then grow really weird, stringy, long hair.
Exactly. And also a pretty cosmopolitan man, debuted in 1940, and divorced. He was a divorced man. Do you know how crazy it is to get divorced in like the 50s or 60s?
Yeah. Like that's like that for a man. That means in the 50s and 60s, someone was talking rudely behind the back of a man. Of course, they were at the same time throwing acid on the divorced woman, but still. Dylan right now is no.
Oh,
Dylan
no, I'm
right
looking
now,
up these sexist Folgers coffee ads, and then you're going to look at them. We talked about them on the show. I want to show you them.
Oh, I can bring those up. I can bring those up right the fuck now, you little fucking bitch.
There you go. Private chat. Boom, boom, done. The funks are interesting. I mean, Walter's just like, it's so funny. Like, no one has any. You know what really got me excited? That NXT 2.0 match with him and Roderick Strong. I was like, man, he's going to be sick in AEW. He's going to have a good run.
This is the funny thing about NXT.
If I was
2.0.
I was thinking about this though. Sorry to cut you off, but if I was thinking about this, like if I was Walter, then I would really petition Vince McMahon to grow facial hair.
Go ahead.
I'd really petition to grow facial hair or change something about my appearance, just so when I went back to my set appearance before that, it was like a difference between my character on WWE and my other character.
Yeah.
So then it could be like, oh, Dylan, like, you know, he has the fucking. He shaved his creepy mustache. He's back to being the destroyer of worlds or whatever. He's not Mr. Bum Bum Kiss. Because Walter's gonna be like, like he's worked out the shit, but he's still gonna be like bitch tits when he gets to the main roster. Roman Reigns is gonna like knock him out and then suck his boobs for a full 10 minutes, going gross, gross, gross.
Yeah. This is actually probably bringing back my
acknowledge me, and then he gets a boner and he's like, thank you.
What's also weird about Walter is and this isn't who he is, but who was the guy that they had to fire because they're like, oh, that guy's 100% a Nazi. Who was that guy? That like Vince
That was
McMahon
Jax
loved.
Riker, but yeah, they didn't fire him immediately.
Was it that guy? And then who was the guy that was also like just like
he came out and was like January 6th was like the most badass shit you could ever do, and they kept him on TV for quite some time because he fucking had a good look.
Who was the guy that kept messaging various yoga influencers on Instagram and got fired?
I don't know.
There was that guy, like he was another guy that like Vince McMahon loves this guy, and they were like, well, we need to fire him, and they kept like discovering.
Lars Sullivan turned out he was like a racist who did gay porn, which is good.
Oh,
and then he was like, I'm never going to wrestle again because of anxiety. It's like, no, because you wrestling fans are nerds and they know all your two worst secrets.
It's 100% Lars Sullivan is who I'm talking about. And it was so
and he was harassing yoga. I mean, that's so funny that it was like he was in gay porn and racist, and you were like, we got to focus on messaging yoga people because that's disgusting.
Because the yoga people thing is how all of it is brought up, is all of that stuff follows that information. But the first thing in all of the headlines, which is why it stuck with me, is they were always like, Lars Sullivan harassing yet another yoga instructor on Instagram. You might remember Lars Sullivan as being the racist who did gay porn. And you're just like, this article, this guy has so much stuff to be like, what's up with you, man? What's up?
That is fucked up. And he's like, and then he said anxiety, which is like gonna be the new thing. I mean, Ben Simmons is already doing it in the NBA. Obviously, if you're struggling with mental health, that's a different thing, but it's like also not quantifiable. It's like saying your back hurts. So Ben Simmons said mental health was his problem. Then he said his back hurts, which is like you can't really prove these two things. So
here's my thing: is as someone who is like, I didn't realize how bad my anxiety was until very recently when I explained to my therapist how many panic attacks I had in a 2-week period, and he went, "Oof." You never want a therapist to be like, I don't really have a reaction. That's just pretty fucked up.
Or was he like, nice?
Yeah, he was like, that's. I think the phrase was, that's something to keep an eye on. Let me know if that happens again immediately. And It's one of those things. But it's the difference of, I have been in a situation where people, you can tell on the timbre of someone's voice when they were like, I've got anxiety. And you're like, you don't.
Everyone does. We're aware of our own mortality. Like everyone's scared.
Yeah, it's like you didn't just look. You haven't spent 20 minutes looking in a mirror, being like, "You want to know why you're going to die today? Because you're a piece of shit. You were rude to that woman on the tube. You should have said thank you because she coughed and said excuse me." And you're just like that's where you're like, "Well, this is crazy," and I'm engaging in magical thinking, and I'm thinking that I should just go blow my nose and then cry. You're like, that's crazy. I always just get frustrated where it's like, I am taking time away because I'm anchor.
But once again, it's not like really quantifiable too. So it's like it's gonna be a new.
Say quantifiable again, bitch.
It's not really quantifiable. Oh, did you see the guy from Right Said Fred's a Nazi too? A lot of stuff happened.
That's my best thing. The Right Said Fred thing I had written down right here as a. Can we talk about this? Do you understand how fun the world is?
Alternate band names.
Reich Said Fred, right there. Done.
Reich Said Fred's good. Hitler was Right Said Fred.
Oh, very good, very good.
Via Steve Dillon on Twitter. Well, I posted on Twitter. It was Extreme Right Said Fred. That was via Steve Dillon. Good for him.
I also enjoy I'm Too Sexy Not to Gas These Jews.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's clunkier, but it gets the point across.
Yeah, I'm not here for fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to just be like, this is crazy. But also it's like, here's the
They're
other
also going to
thing.
be Gunter Stark's managers now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. But here's the other thing is who's surprised? This is my favorite thing where people are like, I can't believe Right Said Fred have some fucked up views. And I'm like, I can't believe Oasis isn't just playing a rally called Get Them, They're Different. Like, do you understand? like you're all still British people. And at baseline, British people are horrible monsters who have to go against their own program.
Get them.
I will. They're all scum. When
Fuckers.
Climate change rids the world of that island, a better place we shall live in. And it only takes out England. Wales, Scotland, both Irelands, have a great time.
Both. There's only one Ireland, goddammit.
Yeah, but weirdly, it's Northern Ireland in Dylan's mind.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. Dylan watches The Crown and was very angry.
Yeah, I call the Troubles
Lord
the
Mayor. Goods. Yeah. He said the only thing troubling about the Troubles is that they didn't kill them all.
There you go.
That's from Dylan's manifesto called
Goddamn right, manifesto, not a woman manifesto. You can use that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Dylan has written a womanifesto.
Yeah, that's just a cupcake you make.
Yeah. It's called a cake, you little bitch. It's
There
called
you go.
Dancing.
Now let's get some
Womanifesto.
sexism. Let's get some somehow more sexism on this podcast. Let's watch these fucking Folgers ads. These are my favorite things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post these on TikTok and then just me in the corner going sick.
Yeah. Just you.
All right, here you go. This is great.
Can you post this on TikTok? But it's just you showing them to your wife and being like, "That's how shit's gonna be from now on, baby."
So these are my favorite ads ever because not once do they mention Folgers coffee. They just cut it off before it mentions Folgers coffee. So it's just basically it's like it's fine to blame your wife when things are bad. But yeah, play first one here.
You make me feel very unwifely, McNaughton. Go barbecue.
I still say don't serve your awful coffee with my steaks.
Oh, Mrs. Olson, he's always crabbing about my coffee. I could cry. Your coffee.
No reference to Folgers.
Thanks, beautiful.
Right there is so weird.
good.
Why would you call your friend Mrs. Crabtree? What are you doing? Also, let's talk about. There is no more look of I beat up women more than a white shirt tucked into slacks. If you're wearing a white t-shirt tucked into slacks, you've kissed your fist and just gone pot roast 6 o'clock.
He definitely projected very menacing there. But let's look at this next one here.
Yeah, like if that coffee cup isn't smashed against the mirror, then I don't know history. Let me put it this way. The man in this image right there, he would have done very well hanging out with Bill Watts or Fritz von Erich. I feel that
look how genuinely she's smiling and he's already fucking pissed. This can only be good.
Yeah. Excuse me, wife. Why am I seeing all of your teeth? I didn't ask for that.
I wish commercials were like this still. You know what I mean? Really letting them know.
You're welcome.
How can such a pretty wife make such bad coffee?
Yeah.
Darling,
Take that, bitch.
Anniversary. Why so glad?
That shift was wild.
He really wanted to sell. He really wanted her to feel high and then fucking feel low. Good for him.
Yeah. That guy really just waits for his wife to make a delicious dinner, and then he systematically throws every dish against a wall. Not because he doesn't want it, just because he needs to keep her on her toes.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have enough money to replace them. You got to glue these back together. You made a wrong, so I made wrong.
I got to tell you, every single one of the men in these ads really could just create Chuck Rhodes Jr. in Billions. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I do like about these ads, though, is that they could be called, instead of sexist, you could just put emotionally abusive ads from the 60s.
Yeah. It's basically, these ads are just part of a bigger collection called How Did We Get Here?
Bad coffee causes domestic disputes. Folgers.
Yeah. It's her fault no matter what happened. Folgers.
All right, yeah, another one? Hit us.
Welcome, hello everyone. We at Folgers stand with Lars Sullivan because we think that yoga instructors have been a bit uppity and sometimes you need to bring racism to gay porn.
Our official spokesman, well, there's actually 3, Chris Brown, Bing Crosby, and, I don't know, a drunk Al Bundy.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Folgers Coffee, our new spokesman, the ashes of Chris Benoit.
Nothing? Well, it's your coffee.
Again? Even today?
Honey, your coffee just doesn't taste any good.
He's going to break that hand.
Such a nice vacation.
What is going on? Also,
She really was like, really? Please just give me something? You're fucking useless.
yeah,
Good.
your coffee makes me not want to cheat on you. Do you understand? I want to be I want to fuck your sister. If I have this coffee, I don't want to fucking put my hard cock in something that's made of your same genetic code.
There you go. Yeah,
Do you want me
the
to-
original script for that ad was just him putting her hand down his pants and going, look how soft it is. Folgers.
Yeah. The original script for this next one coming up is he just throws coffee in his wife's face and then goes, now you look like an N-word, shits his own pants, leaves.
Did you ever see Larry looking so happy?
Oh, honey, happiness is a vacation. Away from your coffee. Bring up the coffee.
No, this guy's pissed already. No, don't even reference the last one. This one's good.
Marge, it's never very good.
But Phil,
I'll get some at the plant.
She's going to kill herself.
the cost.
Do you understand that this is how fucked the economy is that people that work in a plant can't afford a house or good coffee? Like if that you made that ad now, it would be like, this coffee's not very good. Well, that's because we can't afford filters or beans. So I just heated up some water for you, hun. Well, I'd say I'd get coffee at the plant, but that shut down 3 years ago, and now I just am addicted to fentanyl. I'm going to go just pick my scabs in the backyard, hun, before the bank comes and forecloses. All right.
I like the fact that, like, that guy was... Also, these are all, like, men with Asperger's or something, where it's like, you talk about how nice the 50s were, but all these men are just like, oh, I'm alone? No more niceties. This coffee's bad, and so is my life.
Yeah, I'll tell you why the 50s is remembered as being so fun is because you, a straight man, could look the person you're supposed to love more in the world and just go, if I wanted someone to shit in my mouth, I would have married your mother. Now pour this into your cunt and tell me if it's too fucking hot.
You know, when I got married to you, I had one wife and one dog. Now I got 2 dogs because you're so ugly. Folgers.
Yeah. What's that smell? Me throwing up.
There you go.
Me. Like, it's so fucking crazy.
All right, one more.
You all right? You mean it's as bad as yesterday? No improvement at all?
Who?
What a piece of shit.
He's such a fucking asshole, too. How's the coffee? Like, can I just say this, by the way? Excellent shirts, great looks, and all of these fucking ads. Also, love the haircut. Every single one of these guys look like
This was the world before therapy.
Oh my god!
If something wasn't absolutely delicious, you just took it out on the person that served it to you because goddamn right you were in the Korean War.
Oh yeah, isn't the next one just where they got the idea for the beginning of American History X? It just he takes a sip of the coffee and just drags his wife outside. Put your mouth on the curb. Put your mouth on the curb.
No, the next one is beaver cleavage, where it's like, this coffee's so bad I don't even want to fuck you, Mom.
Mommy, I don't want to fuck you.
Harold, don't just shake your head. You've got to tell me what's wrong with the coffee.
Bad taste.
Attention, ladies,
Does
please.
Harold think he's talking? Oh, what is this one?
Right now, at the end of aisle 2, I've set out a brand new, can't-miss, husband-pleasing coffee.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's your coffee again. The desk sergeant at the station makes better coffee than this.
Ed, really?
Sorry, honey. But
At least he apologized, but I mean, he is going to maybe hit her. So let's see where this goes.
I don't think that they. I think it's like I think he's about to say, "I'm sorry, honey, that you're such a disappointment." to
I'm
me."
sorry, but it's boiling time again.
Yeah, honey, I'm sorry, but now it's time for you to drink my piss.
Jesus Christ,
The coffee tastes terrible.
Mrs. Olson.
that's not that bad.
I mean, I'm
Who
gonna
was
say
the
this.
nicest guy in these? I think the construction worker was, or the guy at the plant was the nicest. So
I think
far.
the cop is the
Bad.
nicest one. He's the only one that apologized. The rest of them just stare. You be Dylan. You're a married man. You be critical of your wife in the fashion these.
I'll let that
gentlemen have
woman
been.
make coffee. She didn't know what she's goddamn doing. I'll do that Folger's ad.
She's definitely not in the house because there is no way you would say that because if you did,
I totally would. Yeah.
a shadow would fall over your face, and then the tone of an angry Greek would be heard.
The lights would come off. The lights would start flickering, and Sabu would appear.
Yeah, you'd hear. Yeah, exactly. But I have seen your wife leave a room, and it does. They do play. Bow down. Yeah, you'd say something cross against your wife, and then a shadow falls on your face. You hear the words Malacca, and a bunch of plates smash behind you.
Let's go on this one.
Mary, come in.
Oh my God! Do you think? I think these two women just fuck because they're.
Jim again.
Oh
You
no!
should have heard him this morning. Mary, your coffee is as undrinkable as ever.
Oh, and Jim's always so nice.
I hope you and Tom are enjoying meeting all your new neighbors, Diane. Oh, we are.
Oh, I'm so glad.
You made us feel so at home. Everything's wonderful.
Even the coffee's better. Here.
Wonderful
That's right.
anniversary, dear, and thank
That guy's having an affair. Also, what kind of psychos?
I mean, to your wife in front of people at a party?
Also, who's having a full cup of coffee at 9 at night at just a?
I mean, me.
Yeah, I mean, also me. I was supposed to be like, wow, that's me. I was like, well, how are you saying that? I remember I bought a coffee at a Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf yesterday at 8:59, and the guy was like, bit late for coffee, and I wanted to be like, you were gonna fucking coffee bean, motherfucker. I didn't
really let that guy feel his fucking place in the world.
Yeah, I did. I took him outside. I went, bring it up. Your banking app.
Folgers.
We're comparing checking accounts now. We're comparing checking accounts now. I am your better. I am your better.
Size off with money.
Exactly. Size off with money and then size off with dicks.
John Musk has arrived.
Let's see what this fucking abuser says to this beehive.
you for the flowers.
You're welcome, darling. But if you could do one thing for me,
What?
try to do something about your coffee.
Oh my God.
Hoped it would be better today. Harvey?
They're also acting like making coffee is this very complicated, like difficult, like, oh, there's various steps where this empty-headed not a man has fucked up the process. Like they're acting like, well, I think I followed the instructions. I spat in it and then took a bunch of wet shits in the pot and then did not wash it. And then just put some beans in the water. Like, what do you...
It's good stuff. And it's
off.
also like from a time when Folgers was top shelf shit. Well, I don't know. What else you want to talk about? You want to do the... So I had this interesting thing because like I was feeling very unconnected to mainstream, to the lame stream. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And,
we're
like,
no longer...
Do you watch Euphoria? I'm going to say no.
I do not.
So Euphoria is a teen show, and then there was this main actress is Zendaya? Never mind. Anyway, and then I looked her up on Instagram. This was when I watched it last year, and she had 17 million followers. And I was like, oh, I don't know anything about anything anymore.
Yeah.
So I had this idea of we should look up the 100.
Oh, yeah. I love this. Yes.
The top Instagram accounts, I think in the U.S., because I didn't know this before. I watched this documentary, but like, I think it's like 2 million people have over 100,000 Instagram followers. So we just got to get down to someone that we both don't know, and then we can look at their Instagram and try and figure out who they are. Because I guarantee everyone, I've looked at the fucking analytics for this show, and you're all essentially us, with a couple exceptions, but like it's essentially just men in their 30s who are like,
oh, yeah.
you know what was cool? Korn's bassist
Yeah, I need my friends to be able to live in my phone and talk to me while I'm shaving my back. Like, I get it. Also, we are gonna need to not go far. I already don't know someone in the
Really?
top 3. I already don't know someone in the top 3. Let's go.
Oh,
No,
I know.
I do.
I'm
Yeah.
more plugged in. I'm more plugged in than you. I know that.
First of all, I do. Oh, first of all, this is not.
But isn't it fucked up when you see someone that's like 20 million followers and you're like, I have no fucking idea who this is.
I don't know.
So you can do it. Oh, so I was on the site earlier. So you can do it like, see, if you go up to the top there, you can click and you can do it by number of followers. Not like this is influence, which is like response rate.
Yeah, it is done by number of followers.
Oh, okay.
It's Cristiano.
Ronaldo.
Is that Ronaldo? Is that Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, the
number
Portuguese soccer star, baby.
1? I know that guy. Kylie Jenner. Know her. Leo Messi. He certainly is. The Rock. Oh.
The Rock is number 5. That's crazy.
The Rock is number 4, fuckface. Ariana Grande is number 5.
Got more than Ariana Grande.
Look, the amount of people that Pete Davidson has fucked in the top 10 is
The Rock?
wild. I mean,
I think someone said it best where it's like Pete Davidson was just a dude doing open mics 8 years ago, and now he's like Kanye hates him and he has had sex with Ariana Grande.
Pete Davidson is just welcome to fucking 2020. This is who are our celebrities.
I'm gonna start from the bottom. Do you know who Lele Pons is?
Oh yeah, no idea. No, let me go to the bottom here.
Oh no, you just go on the chart and then just invert it.
Oh, great idea. That's even fucking smarter. You know they can see the chart. I brought the chart up, you little fuck.
Oh no, but it's very small.
Oh, okay. Well, I can fix that by doing this.
Ooh, 5-minute crafts. Gucci, Louis.
You know what's funny? I 100% know 5-minute crafts. I 100%
Really?
know Gucci. Yeah, that's right. I find craft videos on social media incredibly soothing. I would also recommend Crafty Panda. By the way, Lily Spoons, no fucking idea. No
Look at her.
idea.
Look at her. I know who she is, but this is so. Do you remember? This would be a fun thing to talk about, and then we'll talk about ECW to bookend it because I guess it'll be a wrestling sandwich. That's how these shows will work.
I do not know Lily Pons. I do not know
So click on her.
Masala. I do not know.
No idea who that
this
is.
website
So
doesn't.
this is the thing. There's another website I was on where you can do it by America. So it's like, because some of these people are just like famous in India or something, where it's like okay. But I'll put Lele Pons in the chat. But so she's very special because do you remember when
She's very special to you, Dylan.
Remember when influencers started doing sketch comedy for like a year?
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, I'm now on number 1. Kylie Jenner, number 1. Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, Kim Kardashian. Weirdly, The Rock not in
America
for the world, yes, but not in the world. In the world, he's way down. That's fascinating because it's going by influence again. It's like it's one of those things where it's like he has more followers than a shitload of these people, but the engagement he gets.
Well, because fake followers. Apparently, like a ton of really famous people have like half their followers are just bots.
Well, do you remember on?
Well, you still have 20 million followers, but you want that 40, bitch.
Do you remember on Twitter or Instagram or whatever it was where they did a cleanse of those things and like people? I remember I was. It was one of the times where they figured out how people were getting one of the bot farms and they like eradicated those followers all in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like seeing people dropped by 100,000.
Oh yeah.
Like literally you went from 150.
Well, now you what they do, right?
No.
They take over dead people's accounts.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they take over dead people's accounts. So they don't like tweet, but they'll just comment on their like, you know, if you're like whatever, if your friend passes away, shut down their social media because people will go in there and be like, now your friend has liked a bunch of John Hastings posts because he paid for followers, which I'm totally going to do.
Paying for followers?
100%. You're going to see me get TikTok famous tomorrow, but I'm also not going to pay for the likes and comments, so I'm just going to 9 million followers, and then I get 3 likes on a Facebook post or something, and it'll be good.
It's so funny how long it took me to realize so many people I know have done that. Like, I was like, how did
It
that
makes
person
sense.
And I was like, of course. But here's part of the reason. I don't know how to do it. And if I did, by the way, I would 100% do it. And I
Oh,
also
dude, watch the documentary Fake Famous. It teaches you how to do it. It's great.
Are you going to do it, Dylan? I am, by the way,
Why
totally
not?
open about doing it. And also, I hate that I know some people that have admitted to me that they did it, and they're so like, don't tell anyone. And I'm like, why? Who
cares?
This-
It's all a lie anyway.
This isn't real.
The only thing is when you get by watching this documentary, the only thing I thought about that was the scam is that they get so in their head because they keep on going. It's like an addiction, obviously, but they go from, like, let's say they go from 1,000 to 3,000 followers.
Interesting.
Are you pissing?
Yeah. No, it's my dishwasher. Then I'm pissing it.
I thought you were just cash pissing under the desk because it'd be like John's completely nude pissing. But anyway,
Yeah.
so they get addicted to it, so they go from like 1,000 to 10,000 because they just keep on wanting more and more, and then they have to buy likes and they buy comments, and that's how they get you essentially. It's like they just keep on putting their hand in the pot.
And do you have to pay for that forever? Because I'm not doing that. Like, this is
For likes and comments, you have to pay forever. For every post, you have to pay. And they stagger it, and it comes in slowly, so it looks like it's real. But the real, but for the followers, it's just one time, and then you get a fucking 1,000 made up people, 1,000 dead grandmas follow you.
I mean, I'm not. I don't. Great. Good. Fine. Fantastic.
It's all like it's legit. I think they estimated like 30 to 40% of accounts are just fucking fake on any social media site.
Have you actually looked at the statistics of the population that are on social media?
Tell me.
It's in the UK. It's 16%.
That's dope.
Like America is 20 or 25. Like worldwide.
Not on social media, but like on. Yeah, people put way too much stock into Twitter, where it's like essentially like, hey, they created an account in a way to monetize letters to the editor. And now everyone takes letters to the editor because I remember my grandmother used to read letters to the editor as like she used to read them out loud and laugh because she's like, who are these fucking losers who are writing to someone?
1,000 apologies. It was 16% in 2020 of the United Kingdom was on Twitter specifically.
Yeah.
80% of the United States has a social media profile of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know how much like the user base.
If you're in entertainment, we're the only people that have all three. Like if you're in the entertainment business, if you're in like social media branding or something, those are the people that have all three.
I got way more than 3, bitch.
Whoa, how many do you have?
I've got 4.
I guess YouTube counts too, but like we're the only people that have like all of them. Most people just have Twitter or Instagram or just Facebook or I guess TikTok or YouTube. If you just have a YouTube account, you're fucked. You're fucked. Because then you're just making videos into the void.
Yeah.
Here's how I would do it. I'd love to find the people who have no social media presence but just a podcast. They just want you to fucking hear it. Nothing else.
They just ask your parent if your parents listen to podcasts, ask them about the podcast they listen to.
If your parents, I mean, I guess there's
my
chance
parents
that someone's here
my
listening to
parents-
this is 20, so yeah, they could have parents that listen to podcasts, but like
I'm 36. My parents deep into podcasts. My dad,
Really?
you understand? Yeah, bro.
well, your parents are like a different status than mine. So there's no if you ask my stepfather what a podcast was, he would just laugh and leave the room because that's what he does when he's like, you're making up words.
It's that thing is you're a touch more country and a bit more rural. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm a little bit country, you're a little bit rock and roll. We've established this.
My mom is a professor, and I genuinely am not sure what my dad does for a living. I know vaguely where he works, I know what it involves, but I'm like, I still don't really know what it is.
Yeah. Final talking point. Other than ECW, what's the best wrestling company that's died?
Oh, I've been thinking about this a lot. I think I'm gonna have to go Ring of Honor.
So Ring of Honor, I was thinking about that. It's not technically dead, so
Yes,
I do
it
count.
is.
So,
It's not coming back, big boy. I got bad news.
but it's quarterly. It'll be quarterly for big shows where they can like essentially just get a bunch of money and do a big venue. Where it's like they're gonna do Ring of Honor, the equivalent of ECW One Night Stand, over and over and over again.
It's not going to work though, because people are immediately going to how do I say this? Like, people are immediately going to be like, the first one was so great, and I do not want to do anything else with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Final Battle did feel like the end of something, but I think Ring of Honor for sure. I would say, I mean, stuff that would like stick around, maybe Smoky Mountain. I mean,
I love Smoky
Watts
Mountain.
was
Smoky
good too. I mean, the UWF was good, but like,
okay, so before we get into this debate, are we counting territories?
yeah,
Oh, well then it's JCP. Jim Crockett Promotions? Oh, how about this? WCW should still be around. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I was going.
I wouldn't think it was the best because like I think it had higher heights than any of those, but it definitely had lower lows. Like WCW really put everything together and was really good for 2 years. And
exactly. WCW is so wildly fucking I'm watching my like background viewing right now has been I just put on Peacock because the WWE blatantly doesn't care about its fans. Is letting Peacock just use the format it uses for regular television for the pay-per-view. So it's like, do you want to watch Bash at the Beach?
Premium live events, yeah.
Yeah, there's 8 seasons. And you're like,
that's
fuck
terrifying.
You. Just piss in my mouth, Vince.
Oh, yeah, and then the search function's really bad too, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't find anything. Like, you literally, the only way you can find it is you have to literally sit there and scroll through.
That's so...
What's also really annoying is the search function for the rest of Peacock is good. Like, I think they just...
I would believe they were like, make it purposely bad. Punish them for being fucking losers. Like, I would believe that.
Well, what it is they clearly have content contracts where they have to put up a certain amount of content, but there's a shitload of stuff they do not want you watching. Like, they don't want you watching WC. They, like, understand Vince McMahon is still competing with Ted Turner in his head. Ted Turner has dementia, and Vince McMahon, I win.
Well, this is the fun thing is, like, now that I think of it, wrestling and wrestling fans has so much more of a sub-dom relationship than... where it's like Vince McMahon is our dom, or we're like, I don't like it, but I do need it. And it's been like that for like 20 years.
But could you just do it anyway? Yeah, that's very funny. Interesting. I don't know if I agree. It's a weird thing. If we're in a weird phase of this is the odd part, and then I think that.
By the way, mine's Smoky Mountain. Continue.
Is yours? I was going to get to you. I don't think. I think
Smoky Mountain did the most with the least. And maybe it was just because it was a territory in the 90s, so they could film it well, and they had all those technological advantages. But, like, obviously Territorians now, and the fact that indie wrestling essentially was like, hey, we no longer have to worry about screw jobs, and wrestling fans are just wrestling fans, so why don't we essentially just redo the territories now? Like, I think as of this right now, there was, like... So, and wrestlers will have their own things, like Terminus just happened, where the ROH champion and the Impact champion wrestled to a draw.
Yeah.
So they can just do that shit now, and it's like, you don't need to worry about double crosses or anything, because if someone did double cross someone in the ring, I think that happened in Lucha Underground, and it was like, oh, Lucha Underground was dope too, but they were like, well, that person's a fucking dick, and now they're out of
I never
wrestling.
watched Lucha Underground. That was one where I was like, I don't have... Nah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, it's Robert Rodriguez's wrestling.
I mean, let me talk about this. No director who came to prominence as like a cult indie guy in the 90s, like none of them ended up the way...
Yeah, they're all rapers.
I mean, I don't think Kevin Smith is a raper. Is Robert Rodriguez a raper?
I assume so.
Interesting.
I assume every virtuoso director from the 90s is a raper.
I mean, I got to tell you, you think of that
at very least they worked with, and obviously, like, it's hard to make money in the arts, so it sounds weird, but like,
maybe for you, bitch, real easy for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? John's been thriving during the pandemic.
Yeah. You're supposed to cry when you're happy, right?
But I just mean, like, we all love Kevin Smith, and, you know, like, once again, I'm going by the fucking analytics, broadly speaking, of the show. Tarantino, everyone loves him, but it's like, at the very least, they saw Harvey Weinstein, like, jack off into a plant, and they were like, how else am I going to get this movie made?
I mean, yeah, it's...
Which everyone's guilty of that. I'm just picking out people I suppose.
I mean, I'm the amount of times recently I'm just on a bill with a guy where I was like, well, me seeing this person on stage proves cancel culture is not real because they're still here. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, I don't even know how to make a stand at this point because it's just like, I don't know. I'm just going to be very rude to them in person because at this point, it's like,
fuck you.
nope, you just don't talk to them.
But also, could you bring me up by saying I was on Skippity Boo's Laugh Factory?
Just don't interact. You literally just stand outside. I just stand outside. Oh, am I on in 5 minutes? Great.
Well, you can't really. You can't. That's the other thing. Like, you can't really do anything because, like, the level we're at, we need money. So it's not like we can be like, "Hey, I don't appreciate what I heard you did, so I'm not working with you." In a related story, can I have a job working at this bar?
Yeah, it's also just like the I don't want to get into a fight with the promoter. It's just like one of those things where you're just
This is the thing. When you don't have a job, you have like 600 jobs. You all need them. It's a fucking house of cards. If you pull one thing out, then you feel like the whole thing is going to fall down. Let's turn it way more depressing than I wanted to when we were just talking about Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Yeah, but I mean Smoky Mountain Wrestling in many ways, and the entire wrestling community basically is like Jim Cornette was during the stand-up movement. Was accused of very much abusing his power when he was running OVW because of certain proclivities he may or may not engage in.
That's
and
the classiest way you wanted to say forces people to fuck his wife.
Yeah, and basically the entire wrestling community was like, yeah, do not like what he did. That said, he's really echoing the sentiments I have towards the best friends. So
this is another thing about the court of public opinion and on Twitter is that, like, if a dude looks like he did that anyway, then people are like, oh yeah, he did that, he looks like it, so what's the problem? But if a guy doesn't look like he did that, then people are like, what? Kill him immediately. Like, the people that they hang out to dry are very selective. Like, I think I was talking to my wife about this. It was like, remember when Morgan Freeman got caught, like, as part of the Me Too movement? Like,
no,
Morgan, and then everyone collectively was like, Morgan Freeman? Fuck that, we're ignoring it. But it wasn't like obviously like Harvey Weinstein, but it was like, you know, he was just fucking, he was like a creepy old man. He like touched asses and was like, ooh, firm. You know what I mean? Yeah. But no, everyone, it's Morgan fucking Freeman, so everyone was like, nope, not dealing with it. No, didn't count, you know?
I would like to narrate your cunt.
How about this? Why don't you go to bed and I'll narrate how I would watch you sleep. I'm sitting here and boy, am I having a good time.
Neil deGrasse Tyson was my favorite one because everyone was like, he said some fucked up shit, and then everyone was like, I know, but like that was the one where I was like,
there are
yeah,
infinite amount of black holes, but I see one white one that's looking pretty fucking fine right now.
There are an infinite amount of disturbances in the universe, and let me tell you what's disturbing my pants right now. Dead ass.
You got a good face and so tits. Let's bang. No space stuff this time.
Yeah. Carl Sagan. Let me see your nipples.
But, like, obviously, and this is the other thing of, like, I'm totally guilty of just, like, reading a headline and being like, don't have time for the article. I get it. Me too. Got the gist. Because they put cancel culture under someone, Caitlin Langolier, who's a Canadian comedian, really made a good point where it's like everyone talks about cancel culture, but there's like 9 different things within that. So we need to start being more specific. Because, like, oh, this guy's a creep versus, like, there's a difference between, like, going to a coffee machine and, like, hitting on someone weirdly when you have a position of power and then, like, full beating off into a plant. Like, there's...
Yeah, absolutely. There is a dig... Can I also just say...
We're really getting to the real heart of cancel culture here it's hard not to when you talk about old wrestling because it's just like a bunch of pedophiles found out a way to make money in different towns.
Exactly. As soon as you mention ECW, you're like, we better talk about cancel culture because half that locker room were the reasons it was invented. Like,
Tommy Dreamer's the most normal one. And he was like,
sometimes you fucking put your fucking bowling ball a stewardess. What is this, France?
Tommy Dreamer, the whole plane ride from hell kind of fallout was wild because I was like, he was able to ignore everything this long and have that opinion. Like, that is impressive.
Well, it also shows Tommy Dreamer's shit shows why he stuck around so long in WWE, which was, they did something? No, they didn't. It's fine. Like, he'll stick up for any wrestler's code, anything they do. He's like, fuck it, I'm not selling them out.
Great point. Dylan, we have to go because I need to eat lunch and then work out. Fuck you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for another one of these chat episodes. We're really enjoying it. We'll keep doing it as long as you keep giving us feedback. Or Dylan,
We just got some positive feedback while we were on here, so we're just going to keep talking about nothing. It's so much easier than learning about people. But we'll be back sometime with John Morrison, who we have to learn about. Horrible.
Yeah, for preview of the John Morrison episode, Eminem was one of the worst tag teams ever because it didn't make sense. The lady should have been the N. The lady should have been the N. M in the middle. She's in the middle as they walk to the ring. It always bugged the shit out of me. Or
yeah, John didn't like the splits that showed off the little bit of meat. You know what I mean?
I did not like that. It was too provocative. I got confused.
Hey, that should be Joey Mercury. He should be the focal point. You don't make yourself the focal point, Melina, you stupid fucking bitch. It's got to be Joey Mercury. He's the best worker.
What I said is when they walk
I don't care if you have an 8-pack, Mr. Morrison.
Shut up. Let me explain.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to shut up.
They weren't in the order of M and M. They were M, M, N. That doesn't... What? No.
It should have been Melina, Johnny Nitro, Joey Mercury.
Correct. That was my issue with it.
That's the only problem.
Yeah. That's the only problem I saw with that tag team.
You know how crazy you would seem if you were backstage? They should be in the order of their team.
I'm right, by the way. I'm right.
It's the LOD. That's Hawk. That's Animal. That's Ellering. None of those are...
I would 100% say, and I would create...
It should be RHE.
I will walk up as a producer and go, announce the tag team in the orders in which they appear on screen.
Yeah.
So if it's
Hawk Ellering, Animal, hey.
Say it that way. Don't go,
hey.
It's the LOD. Hawk's the one on the opposing right. Are you fucked? No, do it in the way that they can see it. It's visually easier. You can watch and listen to our fucking Eminem Johnny Morrison episode.
This has been the third episode of Incels with Insight.
Yeah, my name is
Dr. Piss.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Cheeks. I'm a lawyer for Gamergate. This is my associate, Mr. Pizza Basement.
There you go. I'm Mr. Pizzagate. That's Dr. Cheeks, and we'll be mailing our loads to, I don't know, just people.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Nancy Pelosi. See you in hell.